Hello children, welcome to the science online class. Okay, already we are seeing the lesson friction, isn't it? What is the friction, ma? It is a opposing force. Okay, the friction. What is the cause of friction? It is a friction is the cause of interlocking of irregularities in the surfaces on the two surfaces. Okay, there are suppose two objects are come in contact means the irregularities in that surfaces of the objects interlock each other, then it won't move easily. Okay, this is called this interlocking of the irregularities of the surfaces are called frictional, and it is a force. Friction is a force applied always opposite to the direction of the motion. Okay, if an object is moving in certain direction, the frictional force will be applied on the opposite direction of the motion. Okay, and in the first video we have learnt about what is friction, and also factors that affecting friction, and we have learnt about the types of friction, that is static friction and sliding friction. Okay, static friction is the friction force when an object is at rest, acted upon an object when the object is at rest, and the sliding friction is the friction between the moving object and the another object. Okay, so in friction there are two friction, static and sliding friction. Okay, these are the things we have learnt in the previous video. Now we are going to the next topic, friction, a necessary evil. Okay, in our day-to-day life many activities we are doing. Okay, in some activities we need friction, we want the friction to act, but in some other activities we don't want friction. Okay, we are going to see that activities in detail in this video. Okay, first one, we need friction in many activities. Okay, first one, for example, holding things. Okay, imagine that you are holding the earthen pot and the glass tumbler, that is a tumbler made up of glass. Okay, we will take more care for holding the glass tumbler. Okay, and suppose the outer surface of the glass is some wet, or the outer surfaces of the glass is applied with oil, grease, something. Can you hold the glass tumbler very easily, very carefully? It will take we have to take more care for that holding that tumbler. Okay, glass tumbler. So what is the reason means our hands and the outer surface of the tumbler will be are very smooth. Okay, both the objects are very smooth, means it is a little more difficult to hold that thing. Okay, so we need we will take a more awareness to hold these things. Okay, such a way, if we are holding something means we need friction. Without friction we cannot hold anything in our hands, isn't it children? We without the friction force, without this interlocking of irregularities, we could not hold anything. Okay, if both the objects are very smooth, means there is no irregularities, means the friction won't be active. So to hold things we need the friction very much. And also writing in the blackboard, teachers are writing in the blackboard, we could see the letters what they are writing in the blackboard. Okay, only of the friction, the chalk dust is sticked on the blackboard. Okay, this is the reason why we can see the blackboard. Okay, without friction, the chalk dust will not stick onto the blackboard. So for this activity also we need friction. And the next one, it stops the motion of the moving objects, etc. If you are continuously moving means how will you stop? Yes, if we want to stop, you are just going, you are just walking or running on the floor. You want to stop means you will reduce your speed and you can stop. Otherwise, you are riding in a bicycle or moving in a car. You want to stop. Okay, you want to stop that vehicle means you will apply the brakes, and also the vehicle will slow smoothly reduce its speed and it comes to rest and it stops. Okay, for that for these actions we need the friction. Without friction we can't stop an moving object. So and also next one, we can fix a nail on the wall. Okay, for this activity also we have to need friction. And also we are building. Okay, we have constructed the building. For that also we need friction. Without friction the bricks or the cement applied by them will not interlock each other. Okay, so for many activities in our life we need friction. Without friction we can't do that activities perfectly. So it is a necessary evil. Evil means it's a bad thing, but it is a necessary evil for some activities in our life. Okay, and the next one, we don't want friction in some activities. Okay, even though the friction is necessary in some actions, we don't need friction in some other activities. For example, soles of shoes wear out. Okay, continuously you are walking, the shoes means the soles of the shoes will wear worn out in after some time. Okay, and also worn out of screws. Continuously you are using a machine or something means the screws and the ball bearings in that machines will be worn out. Okay, these are the some of the examples of situation that we don't need the friction. And also friction can also produce heat. Okay, friction will also produce heat. If you vigorously rub your palms with one another and place it among your cheeks, you will realize the heat. So friction produces heat. Frictional force produces the heat. And another one example, if you rub the matchstick on the rough surface on the matchbox or in the rough surface, the matchstick will catch fire. Okay, this is also example that the friction produce heats. Okay, so this is this property of the friction, that is the friction produces the heat. This is also one of the drawbacks of the friction in some other activity, some other events. Okay, in machine, using the machine continuously you are operating the machine means because of the friction the machine will be heated. Okay, otherwise it will produce heat. Okay, so the energy produced by the machine is loss because of the heat produced in that. Okay, there may be some heat loss because the energy, okay, the energy is transformed into heat energy and it is loss. Okay, this is also a situation that we don't need the don't want the friction. Okay, so friction is the most wanted in some activities, and it don't need it is an undesirable one in some other activities. Okay, okay, to understand clearly we can see the video now. Watch this video, children.
Necessary evil. Friction has many uses in our daily life, but at the same time, it is not always good for us. Let us discuss the uses and the harms of friction and understand how it is a necessary evil for us. Friction helps us walking on the road. On slippery surfaces, it is difficult to walk because of less friction. Friction helps us writing with a pen, pencil or chalk. As we write with a chalk on the board, the rough surface of the board rubs off the chalk particles which stick to the board. Friction helps the things to come to a stop. Without friction, no vehicle can stop on the road. Buildings are constructed because of the interlocking of rough surfaces with each other. That means without friction, even buildings cannot be constructed. Friction is needed to fix a nail on the wall. We cannot fix a nail on the frictionless surface or smooth surface. If there is no friction, then we cannot light a matchstick. Matchstick box has a rough surface. As we rub the matchstick against it, the heat is produced due to friction and the matchstick lights up. We have discussed many uses of friction and we have seen how crucial it is for us. Now let us see the other side of friction. Soles of our shoes are torn out because of friction. As we walk on a very rough surface having more friction, it tears our footwear. As we have seen that friction causes heat. In big and small machines such as sewing machine and factory machine. So much heat is released due to friction that over a period of time they get damaged. Tires of vehicles get damaged because of excess friction. So, we have seen that although friction is crucially used in our daily life, but it is harmful for us too. That is why we call it a necessary evil.
Okay, children. Okay, from that video, we can know that friction is most wanted in some situations, and also it won't need it is undesirable thing in some other situation. Okay, for this activities we can increase or reduce the friction. Okay, in suppose we need the friction means we can increase friction by some things, and also we want to reduce the friction means there also we have to do some things, and we can reduce the friction. First of all, increasing friction. Okay, in some situation we need the friction most, so in that situation we can increase friction by doing some things, doing some activities. Okay, or we have to made that surfaces by some special things. Okay, first one, sole of the shoe is grooved. Okay, you are maybe also you are looking in the bottom of the shoes. Okay, the sole of the shoe is grooved means it will made up of some up and down surfaces. Okay, up and downs. Okay, it has many ups and downs. Okay, it will increase your friction when you are walking or running in the land. Okay, on some floors. Okay, so this grooved surfaces will increase the friction. And also treaded tires of cars and trucks. Okay, you have seen many tires of cars and trucks, isn't it? If there any tires are made up of very smooth, or by polishing something, no, it won't be treaded like you can see in that picture. Okay, this is also to increase the friction. Okay, then only if you wants to stop some place means you can stop it easily because of these frictions. Okay, next one, we can okay, you might be seen some kabaddi game. Okay, in that game kabaddi players rub their hands with the soil. Okay, oftenly they will rub their hands with the soil because they want to hold the opposite team players with a strong grip, very strong grip. So to increase the friction, they are applying soil on their hands. Okay. In the next one, gymnastics. Okay. When some players are doing gymnastics, they will apply some coarse substances like that. That substances increases the friction. They will apply some substances on their hand to make the grip to make the better grip. Okay, to make the better grip, they will apply some coarse substances like the soil or something. They will apply, okay, to increase the friction. And the next one is how to reduce the friction. Okay, when we are playing the carom, first of all what we are doing, we will sprinkle some fine powder on the board. Okay, in this situation we want to reduce the friction. Okay, if the friction is more, the coin will not move easily, so we have to reduce the we want to reduce the friction, so only we applying the powder before we started to play. Okay, this is to reduce the friction. And also in some other situations we can see your father or mother will put some oil drops on the hinges of the door. If the door is very noisy or it is hard to move, it is difficult to move, means your father or your parents will apply the oil on the hinges. Okay, after that it will be easily moving and it won't make noise. Okay, this is also for the reason that we want to reduce the friction. Okay, so we have to apply some oil like things, okay, in the hinges of the door. Next, grease between the moving parts of these machines. Okay, in some other machines, in the sewing machine also our mother will apply some coconut oil or some other oil. Okay, some other oil or grease like substances they will apply to reduce the between the friction between the moving parts of these machines. Okay, continuously they are moving. If they without any oil or grease they are moving, means it will worn out. Okay, so they are using the grease or oil between the moving parts of these some machines. Okay, so in this way we can reduce the friction. Okay, the next one, lubricants. Okay, lubricants are the substances that oil, we are using oil, grease, isn't it? They are called lubricants. Okay, lubricants is substances which reduce friction. They are called lubricants. Okay. Okay. In some other machines, we do not apply grease or oil. Okay. In that situation, we can use the air cushion. Okay, air cushion. It's provided between the two moving parts. Okay, so the direct contact is should be avoided. Okay. Okay. For these purposes, we are to reduce the friction, we are using the lubricants. Okay. Next one, if the in the book in page number 152, they are asked some questions. Okay, can we reduce friction to zero by polishing surfaces or using large amount of lubricants? Okay, if we are using large amount of friction, they ask has the friction come to zero? Okay, they asked. The answer is no, never. Friction can never be entirely eliminated. Okay, there should be some friction. If the two objects come in contact, means there should be some friction. The friction may be minimized, but it can't be comes to zero, or it can't be eliminated fully. Okay, so because no surface is perfectly smooth. Okay, there may be some irregularities on the surfaces on the objects. Okay, no such thing is in the earth that is without irregularities. Okay, all the surfaces have some irregularities, so we cannot reduce the friction to zero. Okay, children, and also we will watch again a video which is on increasing and reducing friction. Watch this video, children. Okay, children. Okay, today the class is over. We will meet in the next video class or in the direct class. Read the book until the topic which are taught. So read the lesson completely. Okay, thank you, children.